Good morning, Coastal Realtors. This is Hunter Isaac, your Government Affairs Director. We are about a week removed from the legislative session, and we have a little better understanding of where these bills ended up. So I got a list of bills right here that either passed and are on the governor's desk waiting to be signed, or have failed and are, in limbo until next year. So first couple ones I'll read here with some Maryland Realtor priorities. First one would be House Bill 124, which was cross-filed with Senate Bill 160. It's a disclosure requirement, contract sale, disclosure requirements, and rescission. A buyer, a seller, or an assignee can rescind a contract of sale with no penalties if it's not disclosed in writing that a wholesale buyer or seller may assign the contract of sale to another person. So you can take the offer off the table if it's not properly disclosed in writing that a buyer or seller is doing this as a part of a wholesale deal. That's on the governor's desk. That passed through the House and the Senate. So next little bill here is HB 972, cross-filed with SB 680. This changes the fair housing course requirements from MREC from 1.5 hours to 2 hours. This is in line with NAR's fair housing CE requirements too. So just brings it in line. That passed. That's waiting for signature from the governor. Next one, we have the ADU bill, right? This is House Bill 1466, Senate Bill 891. So this says on or before October 1st of 2026, all counties or municipalities in the state are going to be required to adopt a by right ADU development legislation for single family, residential property parcels, areas zoned for that. So that's also passed. That's sitting on the governor's desk as well. But still, a lot of counties and municipalities already have ADU legislation, and I can put together a little list of where they are down on the lower shore here. But if the county or municipality does not have that thus far, that they're going to have to adopt some sort of ADU by right development legislation by October 1st of 26. So that's passed, sitting on the governor's desk for his signature. Next bill we'll take a look at is House Bill 292, Senate Bill 0063. Now this is a change from that condo reserve study bill from 2022, if you guys remember that one. We're coming up on that 3-year kind of funding requirement here, but this bill here, it says that a condo, by a 2/3 affirmative vote of the voters, property owners in that condo, can deviate from the reserve study funding plan if under a financial hardship. So if this 2/3 vote by the owners passes, they're able to deviate it so long as the condo makes a good faith effort to resolve the hardship and resume funding. So with the funding requirements coming up in a couple of years, I believe it was a 3-year requirement to get these condo reserve study funds ready. You're able to deviate from that now, where we're coming up on that last year. So this is a good little tool in the toolkit for some condos that maybe aren't fully, not all their units are owned, or they're having some sort of difficulty with replacements. Things are more costly. The owners are able to kind of take a step back from that 3-year funding requirement and say, hey, we're having a little trouble. This is what we plan to do to fix it. In 2 years, we'll be back on track, whatever it might be. So that is on the governor's desk as well. And the last one we'll talk about here, we'll get a couple of landlord-tenant bills that are on the governor's desk here. This one is HB 0767, cross-filed with SB 0442. It's called the Tenant Possession Recovery Act. So if a tenant is no longer in the property, the landlord shall send a former tenant by first-class mail or text or email notice of restitution at least 14 days before the scheduled date for repossession set by a sheriff. So tenant is out of the property, their belongings are still in there. You're going to have to send them some sort of notice, first-class mail, text, email, whatever it might be. If the tenant is not present for the restitution, then the sheriff shall post notice on the front door of the premise stating the tenant has 10 days to repossess their personal property. So if they aren't there by the restitution date, the 10-day countdown starts. That'll be posted on the door of the property. The landlord may not charge the tenant a fee for storing property during those 10 days. And during those 10 days, the landlord shall make the tenant's personal property available and is not liable for losses relating to the personal property unless it is a loss for deliberate neglect. The tenant may not waive this right. So the tenant has this right of 14 restitution day or 14-day restitution period, and then an additional 10 days to come and get their stuff from the property. So, and the last one is notice of landlord entry. This kind of changes how landlords are able to enter a premise. A landlord can enter leased premise to complete repairs, do maintenance, inspect the premise, show the premise to prospective or actual tenants, purchasers, mortgagees, or contractors, ensure the safety of the property or occupants, complete work ordered by a governmental entity, or responding to a written request of the tenant. A landlord can only enter between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, or any other time agreed upon in writing by the tenant. A landlord may enter without notice in the event of an emergency, protection of the property, protection of the occupants, or the health, safety, and welfare of other tenants and staff. The landlord shall provide notice of entry at least 24 hours before the time of intended entry. So sets a little bit more guidelines around when a landlord is able to enter a leased property. So those are some bills there. There is a lot more on my sheet here, but I wanted to keep things a little briefer. We're approaching 7 minutes here, so it's going to be a little bit longer of a video. But please give me a call to the office at any time. I'm more than happy to talk or answer or flush out some more of these things. Some changes coming here at the state level too, and then we have some bills that didn't pass as well, and I didn't really touch on any of those. But if you're curious what went through, what didn't go through, what Maryland Realtors has been tracking, what most directly impacts our Lower Shore area, please give me a call at any time. So with that, have a great morning, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.